lead by example. I'm your host, Bob Myers. Today, J. Cole.
Hey.
All right, I'll still be
poppin',
live.
man? How you doing?
So, you and I saw each other. My first time I met you was on the phone.
Yep.
And somebody said, "Would you want to talk to you?"
Damn, I gotta throw my I gotta throw my off-season hoodie. I gotta throw it on. Hold on, I gotta throw my off-season hoodie. I gotta throw it on. Had to throw it on right quick.
Example. I'm your host, Bob Myers. Today, J. Cole.
Hey.
Appreciate it.
What's poppin', man? How you doing?
So, you and I saw each other. My first time I met you was on the phone.
Yep.
And somebody said, "Would you want to talk to you?" And I'm thinking, like, what's this guy gonna say?
For sure.
And what struck me a little bit was this guy. He loves basketball, and everybody. A lot of people walk around and say, "I love basketball." You can kind of feel it. Does that ring true to you?
Nah, I love it.
And
For
Cole
sure.
had hoop dreams.
Even right now, as we speak, like I probably haven't played in a week and a half, maybe going on 2 weeks, and I feel the missing of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I feel the missing of it. But I love to watch too. But
Yeah.
really,
It's playing.
It's playing. Yeah, for sure.
So growing up.
Yeah, I've been the same way. I ain't gonna lie. Since I haven't been
Mom.
what you call it.
And your brother.
Like when I was doing my whole vertical stuff and I was maybe touching the ball like once a week. I was like, damn, bro, I look-key just miss going to shoot and just seeing how many shots I could knock down the road, or just going to hoop and seeing the type of different moves I could do and shit.
Right, and that was
So-
it. And you were born in Germany. You were born overseas.
Yeah, I was born in Germany. My mother and my father were together, and then like relatively early. I don't even think I was one before they like split up.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was born in Germany. People think I'm German. That's the other thing, though. People think I'm German. The other thing,
Let me know
people
if the
think my
volume
mom
low.
is German. She's not German. Like I think if you go to like Wikipedia or something,
Yeah.
I'll meet random people. It's been years though, by the way. I've never actually had even a moment to say it because it never came up. But it's been years, and somebody would come up to me and be like, "Bro, my mom's German too." Or boom, boom. I'm like, "Bro, my mom's not German. Like, let me get my mom's from Michigan."
Yeah.
But she was in the army. She went to the army when she was like, soon as she turned 18, she kind of like got out of town, went to the army, met my dad in Germany because he's from Arkansas.
Yeah.
So they're just like two kids
South.
that like,
That's crazy.
yeah, well, one from Michigan, one from Arkansas, and they both left like as soon as they could. They got out of their hometowns and like, met each other in Germany, had my older brother, had me, and then shortly after they had me, like within a year, we were back in the States. I feel like as a kid, I was always self-sufficient. I wasn't needy of another person's attention or boom, boom. Now, sometimes I wonder if that's just
Interview
because,
10 out of 10.
being the second kid and just being...
Let me judge for myself. It probably already is a 10 out of 10 for me. Cole's already in it. He do an interview once every like 2 years. Once every like 2 years, that's already 10 for 10 for me. Shit.
a kid to a young mother, you know what I mean, and a young father, and then she would have a boyfriend, and this would be a young stepfather eventually. Sometimes I wonder if it's just being a kid of young parents, if you just naturally learn, don't expect, don't expect.
Nobody's gonna.
Ain't nobody
Zay,
coming to save you. You know what I mean?
What's good, Zay? What's good?
For the most part.
You got kids now.
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
it's also a lot of parents won't let that happen to their kid. They don't let their kids grow. They save them all the time. So you kind of have the opposite.
That's real.
You're kind of like
Yes, complete opposite. I had a
Right.
very long leash.
So what
that I'm
about
very
discipline?
grateful for. Nah, I missed that part. Like the discipline.
Discipline. Well, that's the D and DOR.
You didn't need it.
Telling you.
Didn't have it.
No. The discipline that I had. It depends on what type
Well,
of
I mean,
discipline
okay,
you're talking
discipline like you had to step out of line, like something in your life as a kid. Who grabbed you and said you can't do that?
about. Oh, disciplinary action.
What was the dumbest, stupidest thing you did?
At 6 years old, I was smoking cigarettes regularly around the neighborhood.
Hey, nigga, wait.
Oh,
Wait. This nigga just say. This nigga, he say your smoke. That's it. Bro, what the fuck? Bro, oh my, well, that, I'm gonna let him explain himself. Explain, Jermaine. Explain.
Disciplinary action.
What was the dumbest,
hold on.
stupidest thing you did?
At 6 years old, I was smoking cigarettes regularly around the neighborhood.
Insane. How does that even like?
Just being around the neighborhood and like.
So you're
like,
6.
I'm 6. And the thing was my brother's 4.
This nigga don't even know his times tables, bro. This nigga don't know his times tables. This nigga don't know how to divide, bro. And this nigga smoking cigarettes, bro. So, how this nigga end up smart? I thought that shit would have fried all his brain cells. This nigga.
4 years older than me, almost 4 years
And
older
he's
than
10.
me.
He's smoking
Oh
too.
my
No,
God.
that's the wild thing. It was just I was
gosh.
always hanging around the older kids in the neighborhood that he was hanging around, and they were smoking, and I was young and fearless and trying to be cool. So it was like, oh, y'all smoking? Like, let me see that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And of course, we're all out there kind of like young parents with like long leashes. Not like my mom knew I was doing this.
Yeah.
She was just, my mom comes from a town. First of all, my mom got 10 brothers and sisters.
Okay.
She comes from or maybe
10
9
is
brothers and
crazy.
sisters. She comes from a massive family with a single mother, like type of broken home type of thing where they all raised each other.
Sure.
And she comes from a small town where it was like, yo, you leave your door unlocked. She comes from where you can let your
He says a lot of Indians are broken. They've been smoking and they still do. Smart people. I mean, that's cigs. Cigs kill you, bro. Cigs will kill you. Like, there's a reason why that shit's starting to get banned in California and shit. Tobacco products and shit. I believe so. Correct me if I'm wrong, or is that nicotine? I don't know. But that shit can get, that shit, isn't it cancerous?
kid. Like I was out, and she allowed me that.
Okay,
Probably
as
like
not the
she
brain.
was just
Yeah.
out there.
I mean, still, regardless, that shit frying something up. Nicotine fried the brain. Yeah, that's what it was. But still, like, you 6 and you smoking cigs? That's insane. That is insane.
Yeah. And I think back then it was probably a little safer to be just out roaming. So while I'm out roaming, of course, my mom has no clue that her 6-year-old son
Yeah, I mean,
would try to.
If I see a 6-year-old
It's wild.
smoking,
It's
I'm looking
insane.
at that kid going, this
It's crazy.
kid has no shot.
It's crazy.
Forget that. This is just disgusting. Oh my God, I can't even stand the smell of a cigarette. Oh my gosh! Every time I'm from Orlando, I go when I was younger, walking through Lake Eola, walking through downtown Orlando, smelling them cigarettes. Every time I seen some, every time I see walk past some smoke, oh, hold my breath in that bit. I can't. Them shit stink.
So
Yeah,
nobody said, hey.
No, see,
Come on,
that's
man.
the life-changing moment. This was literally a life-changing moment. I guess it's kind of getting to what you're asking. I literally remember, I'm 6 years old. I'm like, I'm smoking with these kids in the neighborhood that are older than me, and to them it's funny. They're 10 themselves.
bad,
so
bro.
it's funny for them to see, like,
Six-year-old.
nobody's really worried about me.
Yeah.
Like, hey, don't do that. You know what I mean? They just like they're 10 and smoking cigarettes.
they got their
You know what I
own-
mean? So
yeah,
like,
yeah,
they're not. Yeah, they're not. It's not like they're gonna say, hey man, maybe you should do that. Nah.
Right.
So I'm smoking with these older kids. Boom, boom. This is going on for 2-3 weeks or something. And one day, I'm down the street,
6 is still crazy to me.
a house where it was happening at, and my brother comes up, and I ask one of our homeboys in the neighborhood, I'm like, yo, you got any cigarettes? I'm 6,
Yeah.
trying to be cool. I'm like, yo, you got any cigarettes? My brother hears this for the first time because he didn't know what was going on. My brother hears it, and he's like,
What the fuck?
like, what are you talking about? Like, Jermaine, shut. Like, he's shut up. That was my brother's energy.
yeah.
Shut up. Like, you're like, Jermaine, shut up. Like, what you talking about? I'm like, oh, he don't know. He don't know. I'm like, yo, tell him, don't I be smoking? Don't I be
surprised he
smoking?
ain't rap
Like,
about
proud
this.
of it,
Yeah.
like trying to
Yeah,
be
I
cool.
do this. This is what I do.
And so they confirmed it. They was like, yeah, he be smoking. So right away, and looking back in retrospect, I'm so grateful my brother did this. And at the time, I was so like, I felt so like it was treason. But my brother was like, I'm telling mom.
Yeah.
And he walked home. And I'm 6, of course, I'm dumb.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I don't care. Like
yeah.
at 6 years
Yeah,
old,
yeah, already.
I was
Hey,
like,
when you
are
was
you gonna
legit-
go and tell
when you-
mom And then
Hold
she's gonna ask me, and
When you's a jit, you don't care about nothing, bro. Shit'll happen, but like you'll think it and you'll process it and be like, oh, it's just whatever. Like it's cool. I'm chilling. I'm cooling. But like, really thinking back on some of the shit like you did when you was a kid, like it's like, damn, you did some dumb shit.
and I'm gonna say I don't smoke.
Yeah.
I saw it.
You saw that.
I saw it in my mind. I'm just
Smart
gonna
kid.
say I don't
Yeah,
smoke.
I'm just gonna lie.
So this is how dumb I am.
Get his ass beat.
Now the cigarettes are available. I go into the backyard right at this time, and we start smoking the cigarette. And I'm being cool, boom, boom, boom. And so my brother, about, I don't know, 20 minutes later or something, walks to the backyard where we was at. And he was like, Jermaine, he was like, Mom wants to see you. I'm like, all right. Like, I'm like, okay, like, all right, so what? So I'm walking home, no fear. I have no, there's no worry. No
6, by the way. 6.
No worry at all.
Nothing's gonna happen.
And I walk in the house, and she like, Jermaine.
She got the belt out, don't she? She got the belt out. She must have the belt out. The belt, the hanger, the leather belt, the leather one. Not no flimsy plastic joint, the leather one. Or one of them flat hangers. You're tuning next stream? All right, I'll catch you, Zay.
I'm like,
I'll catch you for
yeah,
sure.
Yeah, Mom. And she's like, what's this I hear about you smoking cigarettes? I'm like, huh? I'm like, huh? She's like, come here. And I walk up close to her, and she was like, say something.
Breath.
I was like, what do you mean, say something? And when I said it, she bent down.
Yeah.
And, she smelled this cigarette smoke on my breath. And this was the life-changing moment right here, because I saw her face.
Yeah.
When she smelled like cigarettes on my breath, her face was like, it was like heartbroken. It was disbelief. It was like crushed.
Yeah.
I remember the look on her face, and she was like, you have been smoking. Like, it hit her like that.
Yeah.
Her baby, I'm the youngest of two,
Yeah.
that her baby, who's 6, A, is capable of smoking cigarettes, and B, capable of lying dead to her face about it.
Yeah.
So it hit her, and I'm pretty sure, and my mom was not the type to give the whippings that would like be relegated to my stepfather down the line, but I think I got one right then and there, because it was just like an emergency situation that I feel like she had to do. But honestly, I don't even remember the whipping, because, matter of fact, I know she gave me a whipping because her boyfriend, who,
Because your ass was hurting. That's what it was. Your ass got a whipping because your ass was hurting. Shit was stinging.
ended up
And
becoming
your
my
ass was
stepfather,
crying.
came
You cried yourself to sleep. That's how you know you got your ass whooped.
home, and he usually was like
Like you knocked
disciplinarian.
out.
And he was like, when he told me, he was like, I heard about what happened. He was like, I'm not gonna whip you because I heard your mom already did it. So she must have whipped me. But my point is, I don't remember that part.
Yeah, yeah.
All I remember was her face.
Yeah.
And the reason why I think that was the life-changing moment, to where after that I didn't need much correction. I became a self-corrector, is because that was the first time that I became aware that, like, oh, my actions can hurt someone else. Like, things that I do, my decisions can hurt somebody else. You know what I mean? Not just
Well,
me.
they say that a kid doesn't even develop that until like 10, 11, 12, like that, to think outside of them.
Right.
So to get that at 6, to be
Yeah.
like, whoa. Obviously, you were like growing up.
Hey, bro, not even at 4 or whatever he just said, whatever 8, like until 10, he just said, but like people be dead teenagers and don't realize like they actions like could hurt other people. They just be like, oh, I don't care, fuck you. Oh, I don't care, fuck you. I'm gonna lie to this person. I'm gonna lie to that person. I'm gonna lie to this girl. I'm gonna lie to that girl. Not even realize that, yo, that shit really be hurting other people. Shit really be crazy.
I mean, that wasn't, to figure that out, first of all, to be smoking at 6,
It's
like that's a
insane,
whole
bro.
different.
It blows my mind.
I
to
mean,
this
and
day.
then to remember, I don't know if your reaction was, when you say you moved other people, was it like, I feel bad that I hurt my mom, or was it I really screwed up? I don't know how a 6-year-old even does that.
I think it was, this person I really love and care about. I let him down. I lied blatantly.
Yeah.
It was
what I mean?
Nas.
And I was doing
He let Nas down.
something that,
Disaster kid.
yeah, it was crazy. But I don't.
So you had so then from there you learned that was a moment for you. Like you remember that.
Oh, that's
Obviously,
a big.
30 years later, you
that's
got
a big
that's
thing in my
there.
life. That never went away. Yeah. For
And
sure.
then so your brother had a part, your mom. When I talked to you when we met, I asked you about when you thought you were, I don't know music came first as a love or basketball? Which one was it when you realized?
I mean, it depends because, like making music. Do you mean, or like versus playing
I mean,
basketball?
here's the only way I can relate to it because I don't have two things. I don't know if you feel like you have two things. It seems like you do. It seems like you love basketball. Obviously, you love music. I don't know if you rank them. I only know when people ask me about basketball. It's when I answer that, I say it's the only thing I know in life. It's the only thing I know, and I say when I'm driving my car and I see a basketball hoop or a game of 2-on-2 or 1-on-1 or 3-on-3 or at the park. And
You think Bob Myers got game? Bob Myers, he be hooping? Did he hoop before? Was he pro? Let me see if Bob Myers was pro. Hold on. He did. He did, Fernie. He played for UCLA. 1993 to 1997. He could hoop. Member of the national championship team. Radio announcer UCLA basketball for 2 seasons till 2002. Okay. I mean, I wonder if he still be hooping to this day, though. I wonder if he still be hooping.
I can't not look. I have to. So I can't not be around basketball. So that's the only way I know how to describe basketball. When you say music or basketball, a lot of the players I'm around want to be musicians. A lot of the musicians want to be basketball.
All the hoopers want to.
But I don't know if you can equally love those two things the same.
Yeah.
But you're one that.
Who said it? Who said it in the song? They said all the hoop niggas want to rap and all the rap niggas want to hoop. I forgot what song that was, bro.
I don't know. You tell me.
No, I understand your question. I think my first love, meaning as a kid, 4 or 5 years old, it was
probably
music.
bad. Yeah.
Before, I loved listening to music, pretending that I'm Bobby Brown or pretending that I'm Michael Jackson. I loved that first and foremost. I remember I had the Michael Jackson tape at 4 years old. I had a Bobby Brown tape at 4 years old. I just remember the love of listening to music. Then basketball came years later because just like, everybody around the neighborhood was playing basketball. Of course, you're a kid. Everybody's going to the NBA in their mind. That was me. But
everybody
I think
actual
actual love,
dreams.
that from what you're saying, I'm clarifying it in my mind now. Actual first love, because to me, love is like, it's an action. You know what I mean? Like it's an action word in a sense where it's like, it doesn't have to just be an action word, but in the sense of this question, I see it as an action word. So even when I was playing basketball, it was delusion. It was like I thought that I was just like a 6-year-old that thinks he's going to the NBA.
Nah, I wasn't. I could have did like track or like football and whatnot, but like I seen it so early on that I was like, I already really like basketball. I already know I want to take this as far as I could take it. So I was like, why would I split my focus and then try to do something else when I could be out here grinding and hooping? So I was always basketball. Like when I was like in elementary, I would play like flag football or something, or like, you know what I'm saying? I'll do like the elementary things, the kid things, or you do like, kickball things. But like seriously, like when I got into middle school, and like I don't know if I'm pretty sure I told you already, but if you haven't told you, like I ain't played my first organized basketball game till 8th grade. And it was really because my like parents didn't like my parents getting physicals because they didn't really understand the whole concept of it. They was just like, oh, go to school, get grades. What are sports? Does that even really mean something? And so it came down to me like I was literally between my 2 older brothers. They did not get a chance to try out for any basketball team. And then it came to me, and I was the first one to do it. And then I played 1 year in middle school, then I played 4 years high school. Boom, scholarship. Then now I'm doing what I do now. But multi-sport athlete, I was like, nah, I was committed to basketball. I was like, still focused. And till this day, mind you, I'm not playing for college. I'm not playing for no pro. I'm still sharpening my game up, improving my game on all these things that I'm learning, that I'm still teaching y'all, and I'm still learning at the same time. And I'm still refining my game. I'm still sharpening my game. I'm still learning how I could get better and the ways that help me get better, ways I pick up on quicker. I'm going to put that all together at some point, make different programs, reach out to different people, literally be in person and not really too much like, and have a blend between being online and also being in person, be able to actually show you guys how to get better. So I'm still learning, I'm still refining. So it's not like I just came on here and was like, oh, I'm done, I'm chilling. Nah, I'm still learning.
You have Steph Curry that maybe thought he was going to the NBA and had a good reason to think so. Maybe had early skills and early signs
his
that
dad
put him
played.
on. Yeah, his dad played, right. So it's like
I can do this.
yeah, it's not far fetched. But then you have me at 6, I'm going to the NBA. It's like you're on no path.
Yeah.
You don't have the early skills or early
Yeah.
signs. It's just a delusion. So I think my love for basketball, yes, I love playing. I was highly competitive, but my love was not in the form of work. I didn't have anybody to show me,
Sure.
hey, if you really love this thing and you really want to go do it, here's how you express your love for it, and this is how you get to where you want to go. I didn't have that. I had like it was really play. You know, it was, and it wasn't. Love is like hard in a sense. You know, it's like a family, like having kids, having a wife, having a husband.
It's pain.
It's work, it's discipline, it's sacrifice. And the first thing I ever did that for in my life was music.
And did you think that you had a chance in music? Did you know? Because I'm around. You wonder why people, your children. I talk to other musicians. Their children's are musicians. They believe there's somebody that showed them this is possible, and they're around it. And then they think, well, my dad did it. It ain't no big deal. Same as the NBA. You got a lot of players that parents played, and once you break through that, I can do this too.
Yeah.
It actually, there's momentum to that.
Yeah.
So your kids, you probably already know this, their chances of being in music are exponentially great.
Yes.
Whether they're talented, just because they know dad does this.
Yep.
So what made you think that music could be that for you, or did you not think that way?
I did. I had delusion, and
But was it really delusion? Because you talk about NBA delusion, you go, that's just a dream every six. But you thought it was the same for music?
was the same. I'm
thing.
talking about as soon as I started, as soon as I ever wrote my first rap, I'm the type of person where like.
You mean you had delusion like I can do this in a good way?
Yeah.
Because I'm hearing it like
because
you said delusion.
I view delusion in two ways.
Okay.
Yeah.
One, this person has no clue. They're nowhere near what they're talking about.
Okay.
The other delusion that I view is not in a negative.
I got you.
You have to have a delusion.
So was the delusion about basketball?
Yes, my delusion about basketball was well, they were both equal.
I got you.
They were
I
both
understand.
equal. They were both equally far-fetched, but they were both necessary.
I see.
If Steph Curry is not delusion, his father's doing it.
Yeah.
But maybe Allen Iverson is delusion. You know what I mean? Maybe that's delusion. You don't have the size. You don't have a father who's X, Y, and Z. So, but regardless, I think that anybody that's shooting for something extremely high, you have to start with a
little irrational.
A little irrational, because if you were to let logic or rationality, you wouldn't make it because
you'll just stay in the same spot you were before. You'll stay comfortable. You just stay comfortable.
The numbers,
I really just be
odds-
internalizing
the
all
odds-
this stuff as it goes on. That's why I don't be talking. I really like just processing it before I say
turn in
anything.
your favor. But to your question, the delusion about music, I'm honestly that person till this day, and I really appreciate it about myself. It's a strength. When I start something, if I golfed for the first time seriously, like me and my friends really had like a competitive outing. I don't golf, but I like saw improvement in the day and then in the next day. So my mind instantly goes to, I still have the same delusion from when I was 6 and 12. My mind instantly goes to, I wonder how good I could get if I did this every day. How good could I get? Could I, and I shoot for the highest thing that my mind will allow me to, acceptable level of delusion, and then I try to say, well, maybe I'll get to that. And maybe I won't, but I start with a seed of delusion. So basketball was like that. It didn't pan out because, I never
But when you
put
were
in the work.
12 or 13 or 14, when you started thinking about they ask kids, what do you want to be? Would you have checked, or would you have thought rational? Would it start feeling like music is a better path for you, or was it always just like basketball's there?
Man,
because you told me you got cut from your team,
yeah,
and that was the moment where it was shock. It was a shock to you.
Yep.
And then you told me what you did with it.
Yeah, I got cut twice, from 9th and 10th grade.
Yeah, and then
it's crazy.
And you were just, how does this happen to me?
Tough.
That's what you told me.
You know, like that, the 9th and 10th, getting cut 9th and 10th grade year is tough because those are the first 2 years in your high school. And going from high school from middle school to high school, it's a transition. Like it's not much different, but like you're kind of entering a spot where it's like, okay, we're like, after I'm done with these years, like I'm gone, I'm done. So like you get into those 2 years and there's something that you like to do so much, but then yet you have this one goal to go make the team. And then you don't make the team. Not just the first year, but the second year. And so many players say fuck it after that. So many players that say fuck it, I'm done. I'm not doing this shit no more. I'm doing something else. I'm about to go be with my friends. I'm about to be chilling. I'm about to just say fuck it. Because like people think, okay, I don't make it my first year. I don't make it my second year. I'm supposed to play freshman, JV, then play varsity 2 years or JV, varsity, or something, whatever it is. And like you don't make it those 2 years, and most people just lose all confidence. So, but then for Cole, I believe he at least made the team 11th grade year, 12th grade year, at least show some sort of improvement that he put time into the craft some bit to come back his 11th grade year after not playing for the team entirely his first 2 years. And so don't give up. Even if you get cut, don't give up. Come back even harder.
First time.
Yeah, you were kind of like, this isn't,
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I had no what do you call it, organized basketball experience outside of rec.
Yeah.
I didn't play middle school because my middle school didn't have a team. I went to some little specialized middle school that they tried for the first time. So yeah, when I got cut my 9th grade year, I'm looking around like, well, how are you gonna cut me?
Yeah.
Instead of looking in the mirror, like, bro, you're not even really that good. Like, I started making excuses. Oh, but I'm better than this guy.
That's what people be doing. That's exactly what people be doing. They don't be like, oh, they be like, what did they do? They, them, they, this, he, him, her, him. But they don't say me. They don't say me. Nobody be saying me. Nobody be like, okay, what did I do wrong? Okay, I did this play. I had this little sequence right here where I had 2 turnovers on 3 plays, and I did this a little too often. And every time I caught the ball, I hesitated, and I knew the coaches were watching because we're on the main court. And since I did that then, and I kind of built that habit over and over again, so now I know I got to fix that habit. So, because coaches need me to be able to actually handle the balls when I get into games. So I got to make sure I fix that habit. I got to make sure I start playing more, playing against players who are physical, maybe playing against more pressure, get myself better, so I could come back and show to the coaches why I should be there instead of why instead of thinking about what those other players did and comparing me to them. You just need to look yourself in the mirror. You fix yourself in the mirror, because the battle you're going to have within yourself is going to be even bigger battle than the battle you're going to have with that other person that's on the court. That's going to be the biggest battle you got. That's going to be the hardest battle. Forget that other person who's on the other team. Forget that the person who's ranked higher than you or whatever it may be. That battle you got with yourself is going to be a battle harder than than your opponent in the other jersey or on that other team, bro. I'm telling you. And once you decide to take on that battle within you, then you're actually going to start to see real improvement instead of always trying to compare yourself, because comparison is a thief of joy. As soon as you can begin to compare yourself with that person, this person, you're going to lose that joy you got, because now it's just a compare game. And it's like I was saying, you're going to lose your joy for the game, and then boom, before you know it, you don't feel like hooping no more. This shit becomes stress instead of something that could bless you.
Guy better than this guy. Yeah. It wasn't until the next year when I got cut again, where first time I had to look in the mirror like, oh yeah, why did you get cut? Yeah. Oh, you never worked. You didn't. Did you?
But that was all you that figured that out.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a coach where you go, coach, and the coach goes, you don't even practice, you don't even play, you don't even try. No. It was you.
Yes, I had to realize. I had to get punched in the face 2 times. That was gut. I love basketball so much, and my delusion was high. So to get cut from the team was a gut punch. You know what I mean? I literally could have cried when I went and looked at the list and my name wasn't on there. It was like, and so the second time. Now I'm so grateful that I got punched in the face twice, because it was like, well, wait a minute. If I only got punched that one time, and I know some people in my life, they get punched that one time,
that's it.
They'll never go try out again. Yeah. The pain of that was too much to ever go back.
What I told you.
I'm so grateful that it was like, nah, I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna try again, and I got cut again, and it was the world saying, well, of course you got cut. Like, I had to take a look in the mirror. But to your question though, I forgot to mention this. Where did the delusion come from?
Yeah. Before he gets to that, I was about to say something else. For me, though, how I seen things, I don't know why, but I seen this quick from when I was younger. It was that everything I did is what I did. Like, I didn't try to blame nobody else. I ain't mess up on the court and try to say, oh, it's this person's fault, or try to put the blame on this person. Like, I ain't do none of that. I realized, like, if I messed up, if I did something wrong, like, it's because I did it. You gotta realize you did it, and so now you gotta change your habits instead of starting to look at other things and start blaming other things. That's why I don't like to always play the blame game all the time and always try to say, oh, it's because that, this coach or that coach. You gotta fix yourself before you try to correct somebody else. Listen to what I said. You gotta fix yourself before you try to correct somebody else. I'm telling you, you always gotta look in the mirror before you do anything that you do, and if you're trying to get better at anything, just look yourself in the mirror.
I think I really believed you know when your parents tell you you can do anything, you can be anybody. My mom was big on that.
Okay, I got you.
She was big on like filling me with you can do whatever. You know, Jermaine, you
That's
can do
a big
whatever you
thing.
want to
Like
do.
that's a big.
Yeah.
A lot of people
My parents did that
go
same
the other
shit.
way with that.
That's what I always be
That's
thinking about.
interesting. That your mom, like you remember
dreaming.
that part about you can do this. You can go do this.
Jermaine, you could be. And it wasn't even anything specific.
Were
Jermaine,
you like, I
could do
know? When you heard that, were you like, ah, yeah.
I don't
Or was
know.
it encouraged? Or did you need that?
I felt like I knew, but
But it helps, mom.
but honestly, I mean, I was 5, 6, 7, 8 years old. I think she was.
Yeah, she was hitting you with that.
She was like implanting that in me. So it was like, but I think the confidence I had was quiet. If you would have asked me when I was 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 what I was gonna do, I would have never said out loud, I'm gonna be a rapper. I would have never told you that. Because I believed it, but
Why wouldn't you tell me?
because I knew that you wouldn't believe. And I didn't want anything that you
Any
had
negative.
to say. I didn't
Because
want
if you tell me and I go, come on, you're not gonna do it.
Yes.
You didn't want to hear that.
I wouldn't even tell my mom. Like I went to school at St. John's because in my mind I'm like, at this time the music industry was way different, and the music industry was in New York.
Yeah.
That was it. It was budding, starting to bud up.
Is that why you went to St. John's?
That's why I went to St. John's. Because in my mind it was a quiet play of, I'm doing music at a high level. I know this is what I want to do. I have to be around the music industry. Delusion. I thought it was.
Tell anybody that? Why you chose St. John's?
No, that's what I'm saying. I never.
Nobody.
No.
Brother?
No.
Nobody.
No.
Hey, what did Cole say? What did Cole say? And Too Deep for the intro. What'd he say? If they don't know your dreams, then they can't shoot them down. I'm connecting the dots. You connect the dots. You gotta hear this. You gotta hear this right quick. You gotta hear this.
See, some niggas was haters that I just viewed as clowns. At 14, I knew I was the nicest dude around. I gotta make a move, I gotta do this now. If they don't know your dreams, then they can't shoot them down. Ha. Yeah, nigga. Hell yeah. So that was.
Try to connect the dots right quick.
It was all inside. I didn't even tell my mom, like, is she the one that had to pay for the school? You know what I mean? I was just like, she knew I wanted to go to New York, but I never said out loud, Mom, I want to go to New York because I'm gonna be right next to the music industry and I'm gonna make it happen. I was like, yo, I have to keep all of this.
And then you do that, right? And you're there. And what was the first time you got recognition for what you were doing in a way where you could say, did something happen where your first album or mixtape where then you could say, yeah, this is what I'm doing?
In basketball, I never had any evidence that I was as good as I thought I did.
Okay.
Never. Like I could, against average guys, I could dominate. Yeah. But there was never a time where I went against the best player on the high school team.
Where you could really see it.
In music or in rapping at 13, 14, 15, 16, and my whole teenage years, I got that validation constantly because I would always go up because there's a rap scene in Fayetteville where I'm from. Yeah. Lots of kids my age rapping all over the city, kids older than me rapping. In every situation around the city where there was a cipher is a bunch of dudes in a circle taking turns rapping, right? Somebody might be beatboxing or maybe there's no beat, and everybody takes turns rapping. Every one of those moments I got in, which was frequent, maybe at least one night a week, sometimes 2 nights a week in different little locations. Maybe it's at the movies, maybe it's at the high school game, maybe it's in the hallway of the high school gym, maybe it's at the skating rink. Yeah. Every time one of them situations popped up and I stepped in, it was complete validation because the reaction was insane. You know that it was probably what the top guys in basketball would feel when they're on their game.
So you knew.
Hey, so I want to say 2 things. First things first, that right there, like his little cipher thing, what he was doing, that's the equivalent of you trying to get into the gym and getting your runs. You get into the gym, getting your runs in with not even just some regular people, with some actual comp, so you can actually get better. And so you can actually see how you match up against high competition. And then going back a little, retracing what he was saying before, he was like, oh, I was in hoops, I ain't really get my confidence. I ain't gonna lie, me personally, that's why you gotta play AAU. Because a lot of the confidence I got to go in high school and have some good games, be able to get some film for teams to actually be able to see it, for them to be recorded and be shown, all that confidence came from when I played AAU, because you play so many goddamn games that, especially if you look yourself in the mirror and you're self-reflective every time, you're bound to kind of figure out how to get things to click. You're bound to figure it out as long as you're self-reflective and not just reflecting, but also after you reflect, go and turn those reflections into actions. So you turn those reflections into actions, then you're gonna make something happen. So I ain't even trying to do this for real. I'm not even rapping for real. I'm just connecting the words. You know what I'm saying? So long explanation short. You got to play AAU. People ask me, oh, should I play AAU? I don't know if I should play AAU. Why? Do you think AAU is best? Should I do it? Play both. You're gonna get better. You're gonna learn how to figure out how to play in games, which is the most important part. Playing in games. Forget like the pickups is gonna help you get better as a player, but AAU you get a ton of games, and coaches look at games. They don't look at your pickup games so much. They don't come watch you play pickup, because all that matter. I'm telling you, all that matter is how you play in games. You get that film, you send it out, you play good in games. You know how to play your role. You already step ahead of everybody, because everybody want to be that pickup player. Everybody want to look nice in pickup. Everybody want to be nice, run the ones, run the twos, whatever it is. When you're just in the gym, whatever, trying to play for money, whatever it is, putting your money on the line. But when it comes to that 5-on-5, that's a whole different chess game. There's so many different tactics, so many different ways. You got to learn how to learn your coaches, learn your teammates, all these different things. You got to be self-reflective and continue to learn. So play AAU and get as many organized games in as you can.
You got that, but
I knew I had some.
I like how you use the word delusional in a positive way. So that made you what you are, right? That belief. But then you're getting it in music, in the ciphers and where you are. In basketball, you're kind of like, well, that'll come later, or you kind of know at that time.
I think around. Well, first of all, I get cut once.
Yeah, right.
I get cut twice. I know I'm not that guy.
Okay,
at the
I
time.
got you.
There's no part of me that think I'm
Okay.
still that guy.
Yeah.
No, now I recognize.
Yeah.
Now I recognize the mountain that I gotta climb.
Yeah, I got you.
My delusion, it was more realistic at this point. It was, do I want to climb this mountain? As a kid that just got cut 2 times from the team and had to work, by the time I was a senior, I was starting, had to work my way up to there. Do I want to continue to climb to be a college walk-on, to go from a college? I saw my future, like, yo, like if I work hard enough, because now I understand in basketball, I understand the power of hard work. If I work hard enough, I could walk onto a team. I believe in my ability to at least walk onto a team. But then if I work hard enough, could I get some consistent playing time by the time I'm a senior? If I do that, could I then go overseas, keep working, and be one of these, like, I remember Jamario Moon's name at the time. I always loved his story. Came out of nowhere, played in mad leagues, but you could tell to have that level of determination. It's like Gary Payton the second. It's like you just have a level of determination, and I saw that for myself possibly in basketball. But then I saw in music, it was couldn't do both. Right. So eventually at some point it was like, yeah, exactly.
When was the moment where you said, this is gonna be my life? This is my career. I can do this. And you just knew that, or did you always?
There was no other option. That was always.
That was it. That was gonna happen.
That was gonna happen. There was no.
Was there anybody that you respected when they said to you, "Hey, you're great at this"? Like, was there one moment where somebody, some kind of like reaction to what you did, some person coming up to you?
Oh, lots of those. When I was you know, all of those moments I told you about in the ciphers, when I would just, you know, say a line and the whole cipher would disperse.
I just had to make
like
a
movie
YouTube
moment,
post right
like
quick.
8 Mile or something. Oh, those were validation moments. There was a group in Fayetteville called Bomb Shelter that when I was 14, 15, I linked up with, because I was like, yo, they're from my city. They do professional sound and music, and they were amazing to me. So the first time I went over there and recorded a song, and I saw everybody's reaction to the song that I recorded, it was more validation. When I played this song for my friends, you know what I mean, and I got the reaction from them, more validation.
When did it become
reps?
This mute, like, I gotta. There's the part where you just love doing what you're doing, and then you realize how am I gonna? What image? Who am I gonna be in this business? Like, what do I want to be? How do I stay true to what you do? Because I'm sure a lot of people are telling you, you got to do this, you got to do that, and it seems to me, I know you, not super well, but a little bit. You're kind of like, you're pretty strong about, this is what I'm doing. I can hear what you have to say, but I'm going this way. And that seems not that hard for you, but I don't want to diminish all the polling that you had.
No,
You got to do this, you got to do that. It seems to me you're pretty centered and peaceful in what you choose, but there's got to be pressure in that, should I be doing this, should I be doing that? And then you get more successful, and then more people are telling you how to live, how to be. How do you kind of stay with you?
I mean, I had to learn that lesson, obviously, through the years. You know, I was very confident in the beginning and very, like, sure of myself. and sure of like the things that me and my team are excited about. I got a partner, Eve. You met Eve, and we've been rocking like this from very early on. So I was very confident in that in the beginning, and then you get a few projects in or out. The pressure starts to build. It's not going exactly how you want it to go, and then the pressure hits. Like when the pressure hits, that's.
Do you remember when that happened?
Oh,
was
yeah.
there like a moment? Or
Yeah.
was it just?
I mean, yeah, it was over a number of years.
Yeah.
It took me a while to even
Feel it?
recognize it. Yeah,
But it was
I was
happening.
always feeling it, but
Yeah.
it took me a while to recognize that. Oh,
Probably
wait,
just
this has
living
been
in the
here for a
moment.
few
Yeah.
years. You know what I mean? This
A lot of
thing.
living
But
in the
once
moment.
once I felt that, this was like maybe 2 albums in. Once I felt that, the minute I recognized that this feeling, this pressure, had been causing me to move a certain
Yeah.
way and make certain decisions. Once I became fully aware of it, and like had that honest conversation with myself, now came like the remedy steps. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, what do you do about this? How do you fix this? And that answers your question about. That's when I began to move more true to get back in tune with what's true to me.
What was pushing you? Did you feel like you were getting pushed outside? Like you gotta do something different. You gotta play different music. You gotta change your image.
Gotta
What
be a
was
little bit of
pushing
that.
you away from what felt authentic to you?
Yeah, I think.
Was it you got to make more albums? I don't
Trying to
know.
No, it was.
Trying to play to everybody, trying to do what's kind of normal, trying to do what people are accustomed to.
It was, man, it's
Gotta be
hard to
low set.
explain but at that time, and probably still, rap music specifically, very nuanced and opinionated game. It's not like basketball where it's like, yo, like, if you won, you won. We know
Yeah,
who won the
yeah,
championship
yeah,
last
sure,
year.
yeah.
There's
Yeah.
no opinion about
Yeah.
who won the championship last year. Like,
Mhm.
nah, like, y'all got that.
Mm-hmm.
Basketball is not like that. Music is not like that. Music is almost like, at least at that time, music is music. But the sport of rap,
Yeah.
the sport of rap is more like if to win the championship, you had to get all this panel of journalists and fans to vote. A mixture of MVP voting and All-Star voting combined determines who's gonna have the crown, and that was always important to me as a kid rapping. It wasn't just I want to make it as a rapper. No, I'm
You wanted to
competitive.
Hey, Fire Squad, snatch the crown for whoever y'all think says it before it gets on his head.
Oh, I want to be
Poof,
hands
boom,
down
It's like magic.
known as nobody's coming close. You know
With
what I mean?
the flash and the bang, the crown disintegrates.
And I think it's the same, honestly, with a lot of basketball players who strive for that top tier. The absence, when you're not getting that
Yeah.
universal praise of I'm hands down the best, I think it could cause some tension
And you had to
know what I
let
mean?
go of that?
Huh? Oh,
You had
yeah. I had to
So
let go of that.
So did you think you deserved it?
Do I from now
no,
think I
but
deserve
then,
it?
when you were in that
Of
moment, you're
course.
like, why aren't they?
Of course.
Okay.
Similar to the kid that got to the kid that
same
got
thing.
yeah.
But do you think? So you're sitting there going, why is it not coming? And then you realized, I can't wait. I can't do it for that
Yeah. And actually,
because you realize that's not what it's about.
and it actually never was.
I
Like,
see.
yes, I was competitive, and yes, I always wanted to be in the cypher or amongst any rappers that I knew or any rappers that you heard. Yes, I wanted to be the best. The same way when I step on the basketball court, even back then, the best guy on the other team, I want to guard him. I want him to guard me.
Yeah.
I want to quietly,
Yeah.
I want to quietly destroy him. That was my mission. It was similar in rap. So although that was a part of it, the dominant thing of why I did music was because it was a love and a passion,
Yeah.
and it was the first thing in my life that I could sit down for hours and hours and hours and just stay on this journey until I'm done writing this song or until I could sit and record for hours, just done from love. So I think at a certain point, the desire for that started to overcome.
The process started getting lost. Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause it was more
So I
about-
had to.
And
yeah.
what is that person? The thing you wanted, that number one. What does that rapper get? What do you get? What
Nothing.
like? Yeah.
First of all, it doesn't exist.
exist,
It's
yeah,
never
like,
existed.
what
But
were you
you know what it was back then? It was the critical. It was I had.
You needed
Oh man, I had what I had was almost to the point where I wasn't even appreciating it because I was so worried about the thing that I didn't have. But what I had was like this love from people and everyday people that living their life to this music. You know what I mean? And like really like, oh bro, this got me through such and such moment. They're really resonating with what I'm saying. But there was not from a critical standpoint, the journalists, a certain type of journalist too, honestly. I realized it was like, it's a certain segment of that it was just like, oh man, they not even.
And that's what you were.
Oh, I mean, it was just,
crazy.
it's just one of the things that wasn't there.
Sure.
So I never grew up like, I want you guys to love me. But in the midst of the game, when it wasn't there, it was like, wait, why is that not over there? And then you start focusing on, like you start looking more at least I did, start looking more at like the lack more than the surplus. You know what I mean?
Have.
Yes, and that was a big part of what I didn't have was like that side of things, as well as there was other. It wasn't like unanimous amongst the people, but that was the stuff that really like got to me. Like I remember really being like, you know, why am I not on that list right there? Like it's like they only put one of those songs over there, but this song is better than that song, and it's only number 31, and they trying to say that these songs are better than that. There was like, and mind you, this wasn't stuff I was saying out loud.
You see where he fucked up is he's trying to get validation off of opinions. You already see the gap with what I just said. You trying to validate yourself off of opinions. They're opinions. It's probably just a small collective group of people who probably just put an insight on this and be like, okay, it's this. But like, that's not judging for the majority. That's not judging for like what everybody thinks and what it may just truly be. Because at the end of the day, people are going to be subjective. They're going to have their own opinions. They're going to have their own leeway in terms of what style of music they like or like what sound they like. So he already done fucked up by trying to find validation through opinions.
These were internal conversations that were like damaging.
Put himself in a loop over and over and over. Just kept thinking of it over and over and just.
You know what I mean? It took me a while to like catch myself.
What did the Grammy do for you, and what did it not do?
Oh,
because I only understand it from winning a championship. That's me.
Oh yeah.
If somebody said, "What does winning a championship mean?" I'll say, "I'll tell you what it means, and I'll tell you what it doesn't mean." Mm-hmm. So for a Grammy for you,
nowhere.
What do you mean nowhere? What is it? What do you mean?
Like I used to have a Grammy, like you know how you put a screensaver on your computer back in the days or whatever, or your background. Oh, it was so important to me. Like so had I won it early on, I think it would have validated all of those feelings I had for it of like, oh man, and maybe it would have felt like a championship at that point. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And by the way, the Grammys do not fuck with J. Cole. Grammys don't fuck with Cole.
The fact that it didn't happen. And then it didn't happen.
Von Myers won something. I mean, he's the president of the Warriors, so I guess he's won championships, a part of the organization, and then he also won in UCLA in like '95. I had just searched it up, so yeah. And
then it didn't happen. It allowed me to even.
He gets a ring too, so
reflect now and be like, wait a minute. Like, first there was the same feeling of like, wait, why they not rocking with me? Boom, boom, boom. And then after time and like, you know, more time of sitting with myself, it becomes clear that it's like, oh, wait a minute, like, you know, those things weren't for you, you know, and then when it actually came, it was almost like I'm not in love with this thing anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so it couldn't feel like a champ. And not to mention, bro, I won a Grammy with somebody else.
Yeah.
It ain't even like it was me as a
21.
feature on somebody's song. It ain't for nothing I did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My but to your, I think this will answer your question a little better. Like, that's nowhere close to a championship to me, the Grammy, but there was an album that felt like a championship. You know what I mean? There was the releasing of an album. The making of this album I got called Forest Hills Drive, and the releasing of it and the tour. That was a championship run in the way that, like, you know, I would look at how the Bulls look at, you know, the Last Dance, or how you guys look at one of you guys' championship. Like, that was the feeling. So, and then guess what? That album didn't win a Grammy. And it's like, it meant nothing. Like, it didn't
escalate.
Grammy didn't increase my enjoyment or decrease my enjoyment. If that album would have won a Grammy, it wouldn't have added. You know what I mean? It wouldn't have changed my experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the fact that it didn't win didn't change my experience. It was like that was what a championship felt like to me.
Yeah, it's interesting because in 2015 we won, and it was overwhelming. And then in 2016, we had the best record ever, beat the Bulls, 73-9, and we lost. That was the year we were down 3-1.
Sure.
We lost to LeBron. And most people would say, pretty cavalierly, that record doesn't matter. You guys didn't win the championship. And I heard that a lot. You guys blew it. And then I realized, for me, I said, I get to decide what that 73-9 means.
There you
for
go.
Me, you know, I get to do that. You don't get to do that.
Yep.
Just like you don't get to decide. I don't decide what a Grammy means for you.
Yeah.
I don't decide. You don't decide what a championship means for me,
Yes.
or that record, or whatever it is. But you're much more. I can't imagine being you in a world as known as you are, where people are telling you how to feel. How do you choose? Like, who gets in your life? Because I can imagine I would be kind of closed. I would be almost unhealthy. I don't want to hear what anybody has to say.
Mm-hmm.
But you're 6 years old, going like, I got this. That it almost strikes me as you're the type of guy that. Who do you ask for help? Who helps you?
I got close friends.
People that are like, hey.
Yes, I got close friends and family in my corner that I can talk to. If I ever need to, you know, they're there. But I'm gonna tell you the truth. I feel blessed and lucky to be like this, but I'm a self-soother, and not in a way that's like, in a way that's dangerous or in a way that's like, no, like I've from a very young age, I've become very good at problem solving, self-correcting, self-reflecting, self-adjusting.
I'm the same way.
Letting things go, you know, recognizing if I'm not letting something go, doing the proper work to let it go. So I've
been doing that shit since I was like 13. Pretty much, I've been doing that shit since I was 13. Self-reflection, improvements, adjustments, all that little stuff.
Often overwhelmed, like those years that I told you about. Yeah,
and that's how you're gonna overcome that gap. That gap you got between your competition or between whatever you're trying to get to where you want to go. That's how you're gonna be able to maximize that time.
It was overwhelming,
Yeah.
and I handled that dolo. There's things that I talk about that part of my life now with people that are close to me that were around back then, and it's like, oh yeah, I didn't even know that was happening to you. You know, like that's their reaction to me. So yes, I have people. If I need people, I have people that I can go to. But I honestly prefer even to just do that on my own.
How personal? People say one of the healthiest things any of us can do is journal. In your music, do you feel like you're journaling? Like how personal?
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, I've been journaling. My class told me last semester I need to start to journal as a grade every day, each day, at the end of each of my days, and I had to show it to my teacher. He didn't read it, but I just kind of scrolled through it. I've been doing that shit ever since like last October. That just helps you on your day-to-day, be able to like guide your next day. So you'll be able to look back and reflect and be like, okay, I messed up on this today. I did this wrong. So going in tomorrow, I got to make sure I tighten up on this. And then the next day comes around, you see if you tighten up on that. And then kind of begins to become a habit, because every single day you get to reflect and see what you did wrong. And then the next day you're going to correct. So now you're kind of just fine-tuning each and every single day. Because if you think about it, our days go by so quick, so fast, that it's just like, damn, like, you really try to think about what you did without journaling your days and whatnot, you really get hard to think. Like, try to think about what you did like 2 days ago. Like, it gets tough. It's like, gets murky. Like, you remember some of the little stuff, like the things, or like some of the big stuff, the stuff that stand out, but those little things that like kind of builds up and you forget about it, it just goes away. Whereas those things that you just forgot could have turned into lessons, and then you learn from your lessons, then boom, you're improving. So if I had to give you advice right now about journaling, literally just take your phone out, take your notes out literally before you go to sleep, boom, write the date, talk about what you did, talk about little things that stuck out, start to finish, where you messed up, what things happened on that day, so you could, if something big did happen, you could be like, okay, that was that day, and I remember this happened after that, and this happened after that. But also point out the little things, like the things that you look at yourself in the mirror, the things you want to adjust, the things you want to improve on, that are going to help you grow as a person. And that's what you begin to fine tune and fix every single day.
What song that you wrote or lyrics was the most raw, was the most like, this is me?
Oh man, it's too much. It's too many.
There's a lot of them.
No, it's so many.
Because I think that's kind of healthy.
Yeah,
That's you know
you're making a great point. Yes, you're making a great point. And for me, in the beginning,
because it's kind of
that was it. That was my way of venting,
good, Adam?
saying
What's
that was
good?
my way of communication. Even was
We got
back then it was much easier because nobody was listening.
18 minutes
Now it's like,
left.
All right.
The VOD's still gonna be up though, so you can go back and watch it. And I'm also posting on YouTube.
Yeah, actually, if I write it, even it's like I don't know if I even want y'all to hear
Well,
that.
people hear, I got you.
But it's still the same therapeutic process of like getting it off, and so yeah, that helps. But more so than that, honestly, man, it's like honest conversations with myself. You know what I mean? Like that is more healthy even for me than journaling. Like checking in with myself. How you feeling? What's going on? You feeling a little different? Okay, what is that? Oh, what can you do about that? Well, maybe we should, do a little meditation. Maybe we should just look at it a different way. Maybe you should just let that go. Like, and even how I'm saying it.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. The one thing you cannot do is lie to yourself. I don't care what you tell yourself. I don't care what you say. You cannot lie to yourself because you know deep down inside, if you try to lie to yourself, you know the truth. That you try to play it off like you tell yourself the wrong thing just to hear what you want to hear. Then you try to go and do it. Then boom, karma happens. Just because you try to lie to yourself and think shit was cool and think this was that, but really wasn't that. It really wasn't that. You're just trying to tell yourself what you want to hear instead of telling yourself what you need to hear. So if you're gonna try to lie to yourself, don't even waste your time, bro. Don't even waste your time.
I don't even think there's words. It's just a feeling.
Well, it's interesting because we talked. I saw you in New York, and I asked you about what you were doing, and you were telling me you hadn't. There was a certain place where you could write.
Mm-hmm.
Remember we were talking about where you could write music.
Yep.
And you hadn't been in that environment.
Yes.
In a while, and then you were like, I forgot this is a place I write.
Yeah.
And it was interesting to me. You to do what you do, you have to be really in touch with yourself, right? Because you can't fake. I'm not handing you lyrics.
Yeah.
And you're just singing them.
Yeah.
There's a difference between writing a book and reading a book.
Yeah.
And you're doing both, and you're sending it out to the world. So I guess what's interesting, I hear what you're saying, and I'm like, wow, how does somebody take all that in by themselves? But then you have to be in touch with you to write.
There you go.
Right?
Yes. I spend a lot of time by myself. Like I spend a lot of time with myself, not by myself because I'm constantly surrounded by family, but when it's work time.
Because nobody can help you do.
There you go. I'm the only one. I'm the only one that can at least get it out the way that's pure. I could always.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a time in my life in the
drop a new
future.
album ASAP. Hey, patience. Allow him to do him. Allow him to, fix his like make it right. Allow him to make it right. Stay patient. Allow him to do him. And then we're gonna see. Then once he dropped the album, just know I'm gonna be at that goddamn tour. Be at the goddamn show.
To where it's like I'm more collaborative. I'm not even working on my things. Boom, boom, boom. I actually love when like producing for other people. Like and
I was thinking about going to his Dreamville festival in North Carolina with Drake as a headliner. So I was like, damn, that's not right now, bro. Cause the reason I won't is cause just gotta delay my gratification, bro. I got some grinding to do. I still got some work to do. I still got some things I want to accomplish. And if I take that time off, I know I can do something better. I was about to go to Drake. I could have went to Drake's concert in June. But you know what I told myself? That concert in June could happen at the same time as the NBA Finals Game 7 or Game 6. And guess what? I would not be able to come here and break that game down to y'all. I would not. If there is a Game 6 or Game 7 happens in the finals, I would not be able to come here and make that game to y'all if I did go to that concert. But I'm not going to that concert because I want to come here and break that game. If it does happen, I want to actually be able to come here and break that game down for y'all if it do happen. So off the strength of that, I still got shit to do. I'm moving with a purpose. I'm doing this shit outside of fuck this money shit. I got people I need to help get better. So I'm saying, fuck, I was like, I like this, bro. Long story short, I like this, bro.
Having it not be about me, but as long as it's my thing, yeah, I got to spend a lot of time with myself and in my thoughts. And that's always been me. There was only that few year period I had in my life where that was like unhealthy because my thoughts were spiraling. And I didn't quite yet at that age have, A, the awareness to know where how low they had gotten, and then B, I didn't have the tools yet to self-correct. Now in my older age and maturity, it's like, oh wait, I'm way more aware when something's going on, if something's going on, and then have way more tools on deck for myself to like self-correct.
Caesars Sportsbook, it's not just...
Oh,
As far as being a leader in do you think yourself or in your industry, do you even talk about it like that way?
No.
You don't.
I don't look at myself like that because it's like
You don't even.
I just don't even
think like that.
Yeah, it never
Yeah.
even enters my mind. But when you say that, I'm sure there's someone out there who's like, you know, who's in the same way that I did, looked at people that I don't actually know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes, yeah.
As a North Star and guiding light to get to where I want to be. You know what I mean? And yes, I had those along the way. I had when I was a kid, I was Tupac'd out, Nas'd out, and Jay-Z, Kanye, Lil Wayne, Andre 3000. So, you know, I have these life-changing people who in some way, shape, or form I was looking at as for guidance, whether it be creatively, musically, or like just how I thought they were living their life. But the truth is, even the kid that out there that like, you know, maybe views me as a leader, he doesn't really know how I'm living day to day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he just has to fill in the blanks.
What
the best
would
he
you
can.
say? Let's.
I gotta fill in my blanks. I ain't gonna lie. I've been looking up the Cole since probably like 2015, 2016. My two inspirations. If you don't know my two inspirations, my two idols, 1, Kobe, 2, Cole. My 1 and 2.
Say this doesn't happen in your. Sometimes I teach or they ask me to come speak to students. It's different in your industry. I'm sure you've spoke to people.
Mm-hmm.
What if it was sitting out there with kids from 12 to 18 or 10, and they're all from all over the U.S. or anywhere, and they're like, hey, tell me what to do. Tell me how to get to where you are.
I think there's 2 key ingredients, maybe 3, but one is
It's cause the mindset approach to like their mindset approach, how they approach things. It was just like I kind of resonated with that to a sense. So this might be a crazy thumbnail right here. I keep that in check. Let's go back though.
Tell me what to do. Tell me how to get to where you are.
I think there's 2 key ingredients, maybe 3, but one is see yourself.
And this right quick, before we get to this question again. Boom, Kobe and Cole, bro. Like when it comes to that, on the serious tip, like it's like, cause you always think of your idols and like, boom, I gotta see him today. I gotta meet him one day. Like Cole passed. It's like, damn, I don't get the chance to meet Cole. Cole was probably a little above Cole for me because he resonated in the basketball sense. Like, so like that basketball approach and all that stuff, how I see things in perspective, got it like generated really from Cole. So like Cole was my 1A, and then Cole passes like, damn, I don't even get the chance to meet Cole even one day. If I do get big enough or even see him, chances don't happen. So it's like, damn, I gotta meet Cole one day. One day. I don't know how, I don't know when, I don't know where. Hopefully one day I can.
Tell me how to get to where you are.
I think there's 2 key ingredients, maybe 3, but one is see yourself as high as you possibly could see yourself, right? So if someone wants to like be in the NBA, like they want to be an NBA player, to me that's not enough.
Yeah.
There's a wide range of NBA players, right?
Yeah.
There's an NBA player that never saw the floor.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he sat at the end of the bench his whole career, and they never re-upped his contract, and then he had to go fight in the G League, and boom, 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 boom. He was in the NBA.
Yeah.
LeBron James is in the NBA.
Yeah.
Who do you see yourself as? And there's no right or wrong answer. Yeah. Clarify and define.
Bro, it's my goal, bro. It's my goal. One of my people I gotta meet. Cole's literally number 1.
Your vision for yourself in the highest possible way that you could see it. Do you want to be a
save this VOD and save this video one day. Save this VOD, save this video one day. March 21st, 2023.
All-Star.
Yeah.
Do you want to be a league MVP? Do you want to be, you want to set the 3-point shooting record? Be as specific and see yourself as high as you possibly can, right? That's your first job, is to see it as high as you can see it. Be delusional even, to the point where to where your mind, right at the apex of what your mind believes is possible, maybe push past that even a little bit and define it. And then number 2 is like believe it. You know what I mean? Like see it all the time and believe it, and whatever you gotta do to protect that belief. My version of protecting that belief.
Hey, I play this song damn near every stream, bro. I'm sorry, I gotta do this. It always come up. Like, he be talking about some stuff, and it's just like, damn, I really be hearing this shit in the songs. I really be hearing this shit in the songs, bro. Listen, I'll put you on. This is unreleased, though. This is unreleased. But I play this damn near like every stream, bro. Every stream. This joint right here. This joint go crazy.
Nigga in the zone.
I just got put on with
that
this
I
little
made
beat.
in my bedroom and shit. We'll finally get a nigga leg room and whip. Yeah, cold world, make way for the chosen one. Ain't nobody else I'd rather be, not even Oprah's son. Mama youngest getting paper like the oldest one. We living better, guess God felt the oldest one. Closets barely had no clothes enough. So you throw my niggas in hoopies, bet we still bag
You
hoes
gotta get
enough.
to the hook.
These niggas get they heart and soul to them. I wonder if they know we dove in them. Ass fat, so I pinch her like a Doberman. Run up on a politicking like he Foberman. What's your name?
This unreleased shit be going so crazy, bro. Be going so crazy. Once he get his mixtapes on Spotify,
Nigga on this
once he gets his mixtapes on Spotify one day,
won't stop. Hey,
that
and don't
Cole's gonna be my
stop.
#1
Now,
artist
if
every
don't
single
jam,
year.
then them hoes won't ride. And if it ain't cracked, then them fiends won't cop. And you wonder why nigga got the shit you don't got. Gotta see it to believe it. You gotta see it to believe it. You gotta see it to believe it. And don't stop. Now if it don't jam, then them hoes won't ride. And if it ain't cracked, then them fiends won't cop. And you wonder why nigga got the shit you don't got. Gotta see it to believe it. You gotta see it to believe it. You gotta see it to believe it. So much pain on my
get right back to this though.
Was
You
I
didn't
wasn't
tell?
sharing this.
Yeah, you
Oh,
weren't
you know, I
sharing.
wasn't,
Yeah.
even telling my mom.
Oh,
She knew I
going back
rapped.
to the beat though, it might have just been a sample of some other song you heard before, because he does that with a lot of his older songs.
She knew I did music, and to her it
Don't
was
let
like,
somebody knock you off.
I'm
that.
not even gonna give my own mother the chance to try to
Yeah.
bring me back down to
Yeah.
reality. It's not gonna happen.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, not gonna happen. So, number 1, dream as high as you possibly can. See yourself, not even dream. See yourself as high as you possibly can. Define that. Don't just say I want to do such and such. Because if you mess around and get such and such, you're gonna be mad that you didn't
Yeah.
think about higher. There's a
Yeah.
lot of people
Yeah.
that do that. They're like, man,
Why didn't I?
Why
Yeah.
didn't I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
about being this instead
Yeah.
of just this?
Yeah.
Because at the time you thought just this was it. But do the
Yeah.
thought work and see where you really want to be.
Hey, Les Brown said it. I believe it was Les Brown. He said, "Shoot for the moon, because even if you miss, you'll land amongst the stars." Exactly what he just said right there. If you don't shoot far enough, you're gonna end up being mad that you ain't try to get as far as you could with it. So, and with me, I was hooping. I was like, damn, one day I'm gonna make the league. I don't know how, I don't know when, I don't know where I'm gonna make the league. But then, boom, path shifted gears a little bit, just shifted. And I was like, I stopped hooping. I'm like, all right, I'm completely satisfied with how hard I went, but I'm still gonna get better. I ain't trying to make the league at this point. But now I still got a new high that I'm trying to see. So
2, believe
shoot for the moon, because even if you miss, you'll land amongst the stars. Remember that.
that is possible and protect that belief. And then 3 is work towards it. You have to do the work. And because you love it, it's not always gonna feel like work, but sometimes it is. I'm sure there's times where Steph is in the gym or like waking up and it's like, I don't really actually want to go strength train, or I really don't really want to go put these shots up. I'd rather chill with the family, but I'm gonna go do it because I know my ultimate goal is championship. My ultimate goal is X, Y, and Z. So he goes and does it. And then within the work, he probably finds joy when he's there. I'm assuming. Never had this conversation with him, but I'm assuming while he's putting up his shots, while he's working on his moves, while he's doing strength, he finds the enjoyment and the presence in it. But it's still work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's still work. So those are like the 3 things that I would tell anybody, whether they're 10 years old or 30 years old. You have to see yourself in the highest, and the world will fill in the rest. You know what I mean?
The last thing you said is about loving the process,
For sure.
right? Because if you don't love like you're right. If every time you had to perform or write, you're like,
Yeah.
you wouldn't be great.
Yes.
But if you get excited doing it and you look up and you go, man, I've been doing this 3 hours. It feels like 10 minutes.
Yes.
That's the greatest of the guys. Because there's talent, right? In your music, you won't say who it is, but you go, that dude's talented. He doesn't work, or she's great. She doesn't work.
Right.
Or that person's not that talented, but they work.
Yeah.
Now you get both. You get where
Yes.
you want it. That's what you're talking about.
Yes.
You get talent and hard and loving the process, and doing it for the reasons that you started doing it for, which were because you love it. And you can push back on the fame and the money and the noise and go, no, I'm going to keep doing this for the reason I started doing it. And you like it. But that's hard, especially with like in our business. Guys get guaranteed money.
Yes.
You can score 2
then
points tonight. You can
boom.
score 50. You're
Yes.
getting paid the same amount.
Yes.
So
Complacency is
different.
It's hard
different.
to it's hard to not get complacent.
Yeah.
Like actually, no, yeah. I guess you could say it's hard, but you have to work. You have to do the work to find new ways to fall in love with it. And yes, there's many ways to fall out of love with it. Right?
Yeah.
Time, money,
Yeah.
success, bitterness. Things didn't go the way you wanted to go. There's many ways to like reasons to retract.
Yeah.
But if it's a high goal, you set the highest goal. I think that's the problem. Like people.
I think they're afraid. I think a lot of people are afraid. You don't seem like you were to set that goal.
Oh yeah.
You understand?
People,
There you go.
The thing is, people be afraid of failure. People be afraid of failure. They be like, oh, I'm gonna set this goal for myself. I'm gonna get there. But then they think to themselves, what if I don't get it? What if I don't get this goal? What if I don't reach this goal? What if I told myself I'm gonna commit myself and I committed myself the whole time and I don't get it? Like I just said before, shoot for the moon, because even if you'll miss, you'll land amongst the stars, bro.
I know what you're saying. Yes.
I was afraid.
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you would have told me I want to be GM and I met you, and we were talking, and you said, hey, why don't you try to win 4 championships? I would have told you, like, come on, don't put that on. don't say that. I'd be like, I just want to try and do it the right. I'm not you.
Yeah.
That's pretty unique to think it and then believe. Even when you're saying it, you can feel that that's true to you. I'm envious of that. I'm kind of like, I wish I thought that way.
Man, you know what I'm envious of too, to that point, is because I also think that like the way that I said is valid for someone that wants to live that life, but I also think another valid way to live is, I'm envious of people who don't have strong desire or strong vision and don't have something, and they live a peaceful life and an enjoyable life, and it's like, I go to work, I like my job, I like my salary, I'm not
trying
stupid
to
rich, but I love my family, I come
good,
home, life is
Simple.
amazing, and they live their life like that, and I think that is just as valid. I think they're equally valid, and I don't think, I don't think anyone should feel, because I've come across people who maybe, because we live in a society and a culture that pushes, it's like a hustle culture, and work hard, boom, boom, boom. And I think people could feel almost guilty or like insufficient for not having some great dream to dream. And I'm like, no, it's a blessing to be satisfied, to be at peace, to be content with life. You know what I mean? Like I was
just talking about this the other day with my brother. That's crazy. Like the same topic of like, there's no like, even if somebody's like coming home, regular job, boom, coming back to their family, loving family, they satisfied. I see that on the same pedestal as somebody as LeBron, because there's so much positive and so many negatives that at the end of the day, regardless of where you are in terms of your status or what people see you as, all those stuff are gonna balance out. There's so many fucking hardships and so many stresses and whatnot that these like NBA players, athletes, and celebrities, they all go through, that normal people don't understand. And it's just more negatives, it's more things that hold weight on you. But there's going to be some luxuries, but as high as those good things are, as high as those highs are, there's going to be an equal load to it. It's not just going to be a time of just it's just of beauty and just everything's going to be perfect all the time. There's going to be something to counteract that stuff every single time. So I never put people or what people do on pedestals and say this person's higher than this, or this person's higher than this, or this person's better than that, or I'm better than them for that, because I'm more ambitious than them. Nah, all that shit ends up balancing out. It just depends where you end up being on that spectrum of like on the sides of it. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, all is neutral.
I have this family.
Yeah.
I have
listen
this.
to your music, but I don't need to be
Yeah,
you.
I don't need to be that guy.
Yeah.
I'm cool with this. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I think that I'm envious
It's
of that.
interesting you would say that because you live and you've met the people you've met people that are supposed to be the best people, right? And then you realize this person's not great. They're just rich or they're just famous. And then you see that family you're talking about, that hypothetical guy or husband or wife has a job and they come home and they're happy. And you look at it like, that's not better than that.
Right.
You know? But our society doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
You understand? Like we're fighting because when you're on Instagram or Twitter, that person's life is perfect.
Oh yeah.
And you go, no, I know that person.
Instagram's a full highlight reel, bro.
That life is not.
Yeah.
You don't want to be around that person.
Yeah. That's
You
a
know.
fact.
But that's when you I think I would love everybody to meet all these people. You go, okay, you met them. Now what? Well, I don't really want to hang out with them. You know, they weren't very nice.
Yep.
And then you go, there's a nice family over here. What's wrong with that?
Sure.
Not famous.
Yes.
You know. So, last question. What do you hope? I ask a lot of people this one, like with your children, like if you could wish a life for them. Because I tell people, I'll help you as you think. A lot of
Why did he just touch his shoe like that? It's kind of odd. He touched the Converse.
because I tell people,
He touched cold Converse. It's kind of weird.
I'll help you as you think. A lot of people, you see these parents at a sporting.
When's the last time you think Cole had another man touch his foot? Been a long time.
Think.
Been a long time.
A lot of people, you see these parents at
Till now.
a sporting event with their children, and they're going crazy. You're gonna see. I've seen it. I kind of look at the parents. I go, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
And then their kid's the best kid, or their kid's not playing enough, or something's not fair. And I look at them. I go, what do you hope happens? Like, what are you hoping for here? well, I hope my kid gets a scholarship. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
You gotta take
But
baby
you've been
steps.
traveling around the world. You're gone every weekend.
Gotta
You
go
know,
with
your other
baby
kids
steps.
are here. This kid's better than them, so you're with him all the time or her. So they get a scholarship. Then what? Well, then I don't have to pay for college. Okay, so what happens to the kid? That I hope. Then what do you hope happens after the scholarship? Well, that they're the best player on the team. Okay, so what does that mean? So then we'll go to the games. I'm like, okay, you're gonna move to the college. You're gonna go to all their games. Then what? Well, I want them to go pro. Okay, what do you think that is? Well, they're gonna be rich. Okay, so there's a lot of different levels of being a professional athlete. Like, what if you want them to play? Oh, I want them to be an MVP. Okay, do you know what comes with that? Do you know how hard? Like, do you know what that is? Do you know what kind of life that is? So you tell these.
I don't think parents be like, oh, I want my kid to be this, I want my kid to be that. Oh my gosh, that grind is not built for everybody. And on top of that, it's not even just the grind itself. You gotta have a good mix of a gift of skill, God-given skill that you just naturally have. Some people just don't have that type of skill, and they always want to be like, oh, they're the one. But little do they know, they just corrupting their kid for them because they're trying to make them do something that's not them. So boom, before you know it, they lost their joy and love for the game, all because their parents try to put something onto them that they really don't like to do. This shit gets in a whole rabbit hole, but get right back to this though.
I'm like, I've seen this path, and I go, what about like, I just want my kid to be decent kid or
sure.
husband or father, you know.
For sure.
But they may not be you. You know, I don't know what you even want for 'em. I don't even know.
No,
Like,
I don't even.
I don't know.
Honestly, I don't even think about those things. Like, of course, there's curiosity.
Yeah,
about,
there's
there's curiosity
where's it
about
gonna go?
what will become,
Yeah.
what will the interest be. But there's no wish or hope in terms of what it is. It's more
What about
curiosity
who?
about what. I think my wish and my hope is more like I just want you to cut down the time that it took me to the thing that I learned at 30.
Yeah.
I hope you can learn at 15 or
Yeah,
16.
yeah.
I just want you to be able to cut down on, I want you to be able to learn the lessons that can lead you to peace quicker.
Sure.
Because I know what life is like trying. I know what life
What
is
up?
like.
What up, Adam?
And when I say trying in this context in a bad way, I know what life is like to not be living in your peace and your comfort and your confidence. And I know what life is like to be living in confidence. And you know what I mean? So it's like the time that it took me to get there on a more permanent basis, I flirted with it in my childhood and in my teens and in my 20s, but was never solidified in it. You know what I mean? It was always attaching it to something. But I think that I just hope, that's what I hope for them, is like, yo, whatever comes after that is it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? As long as
at
you
that
feel,
point, it's just like find whatever it is you love. That's how I see it. All right, I mean the vibe's gonna be up. So I ain't tripping.
at peace and comfortable.
I'm about to head out though.
And,
I'm about to be done right after this.
Really it. Like that would be the biggest blessing. Everything after that is a bonus. Once you just enjoy life on a content level, it's a bonus. It's the difference between a person that needs this, and I was probably that. I wanted this. I had this desire and this goal.
But there's a weight.
I'm about to slide out of here.
There's a weight. That
there
comes
you
with
go.
it. Yeah.
And then the absence of that is hurting.
Yeah.
And I feel like true peace is, I can have this desire, but the absence of that desire is not. You know, it's not.
Okay.
I'm so okay.
I'm okay.
We passed that little cupcake spot that I go to on the way here.
Yeah.
Like, I love this spot.
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, I have a desire for this cupcake. If I don't get it today, it's cool. No problem.
J. Cole like cupcakes.
You know what I mean? Like, maybe I'll get it another time. But the absence of that isn't pulling at me. But I think a lot of us, we have this high thing that we think the peace will come.
Well,
once we get
that's
that.
for me. Like, and I'll finish. You know, that's why I asked about the Grammy. Some people think the Ferrari, the mansion, the Grammy, the NBA champ, they think that does it. There's this like mythical, once I get $1 million, once I get a platinum record, and I tell people, like, I hope you get it so you can see.
Woo.
Because if you never get it, you always think it's the answer.
Yes, man.
And then you miss all the other answers.
Man,
but I go, I hope whatever, if you go, I got to do this. If you were 20 years old, I'm like, what do you want? I got to get a Grammy. I hope you get that.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd be like, why? I go, because you're going to realize that's one small part of this whole. And I would say the sooner you figure it out, like you said about your kids, the sooner you get that Grammy, you're going to realize you get it when you're 70, you're going to have wasted a lot of time thinking that was the thing.
Yes, man.
But
that's a bar.
Yeah.
I relate to that for sure.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Thanks for